So I spent all of yesterday learning how to do this, and I hope that this video will save you a lot of time. This is my first ever YouTube video. I figured I've been using resources like these for pretty much my whole life. It's now time to give back. This is for anyone who wants to run a local development server from a virtual machine. You'll create a web page on your regular computer, send it to your server on a virtual machine, and then you'll be able to see that web page in a browser in your regular computer. You might be wondering, why bother with a development server at all? Why not just write my files on my computer, test them out on my web browser, and then send them off to my production server? One reason that you might want a local development server in addition to your computer and your production server is that sometimes what runs on your computer does not run the same way on your server. Having this middleman step of the local development server gives us another way to test the code we write and how it displays on the internet. The other reason that you might want a local development server in addition to your computer and your production server is that you want as little downtime on your production server as possible. What if the new file you uploaded on the production server messes up to the point where the whole server fails? Now nobody can get on your website. Having that local development server will help reduce the number of these kinds of problems. Please email or comment on this video if there are any suggestions, questions, or corrections you have. I'm definitely open to all of it. And just so we're on the same page, I wrote out some vocabulary and definitions. I know that's one thing that I always struggle with in videos like these. Sometimes I just don't have the vocabulary for it. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. A virtual machine is a computer running inside your regular computer. A server is a computer that runs a website and holds its files. A local development server is a server to work on while coding that only your computer can access. A remote production server is a server that everyone on the internet can access. And a Linode or Droplet is an affordable remote production server. The goal of the video is to make a local development server that displays web pages on your regular computer, and we're going to do it in 30 minutes, and maybe even less. The series goal, because I'm going to make some more videos on this, is to make a local development server that we can treat like a Linode or Droplet remote production server. I have Mac OS Sierra. It's the latest version of Mac OS. The same process works on Windows, but some things will need to be slightly changed. I did this on my Windows laptop and everything worked just fine. And I also have 4 gigabytes of RAM and a solid-state drive. I think the 4 gigabytes of RAM is probably the necessary part, but you don't need a solid-state drive. The ingredients are, what you need is the VirtualBox. We'll download it from this link. You need the Ubuntu server ISO file, which is from this link. Obviously you need a web browser, and you'll need to write down a username and 3 passwords. So the first thing that we're going to do, or actually we're going to start the time right before that. In the future video I'm going to talk about an FTP client, a file transfer protocol client called FileZilla, and an SSH client, PuTTY for Windows or just Terminal for Mac OS. With those two things, you'll be able to really treat your local development server like a remote production server. The FileZilla is how you transfer files from your regular computer to your server, and the SSH client is how you log into your server from your regular computer. We'll cover those in a later video. So we're going to start the time right now. It is 9:25 and 55 seconds. So the first thing we're going to do is go to virtualbox.org and download it. I'm going to click on the operating system, so OS X hosts. You'll see it's downloading here. I already have them downloaded, so I'm just going to click cancel. And then you're going to go to Ubuntu and download the server version of it. You're going to click download. And once it starts going, I'm going to cancel it as well because I already have it. Obviously, you're going to want to keep it going. Now in my downloads folder, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to install VirtualBox. Obviously, if you already have VirtualBox, you probably don't need to do this. So we're going to click on the package. And continue, and continue, and install. I'm just going to keep it just for fun. I'm going to go to my applications folder and then click on VirtualBox right here. I'm going to close out of these excess windows. And now from here, what we're going to do is set up VirtualBox itself so that it is good for our local development server. What we need to do that is we're going to go to the top of the screen and click on Preferences. We're going to go to the network, host only networks. I'm going to add one, VBoxNet 0. We're going to edit it. And now I have this in the comments, or in the comments of this video. We're going to ensure that this looks like that. And then the DHCP server, we're going to enable the server. And then we're going to make this 100, 101, and 254. For some reason on Windows, this was already filled in, whereas on Mac, I had to fill it in, and there was no other way of getting around this. So I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to click OK again. And now we're going to click New. I'm going to name our server Linux, Ubuntu 64-bit, continue, continue, create, continue, continue, continue. And now we have the virtual machine set up within VirtualBox, but it's not set up within its own thing. So we're going to right-click this before we get started and click on Settings. We're going to go to the Network, Adapter 2, Enable Network Adapter, Attach to Host Only Adapter. We're going to ensure VBoxNet 0, that's the same thing that we just made within VirtualBox. Now within the same screen, we're going to go to Storage, we're going to go to Empty, we're going to point this file to our Ubuntu ISO file that we just downloaded from the internet. Open, and then press OK. Now from here, we're going to start the virtual machine. We're going to click on press Enter for English, press Enter for Install Ubuntu Server. Enter for English, enter for United States. We do not want it to detect keyboard layout, so we're going to click No. And press English again, English again. Remember, you just use Enter for selecting the thing and Tab for moving around within these prompts. This has to do with what we just made within VirtualBox and the preferences. It'll most likely be already highlighted. Just ensure that, or just click on the one that's already highlighted, almost definitely. That top one is how your virtual machine connects to the internet through your regular computer, whereas the bottom one is how your regular computer will connect to your virtual machine. We're going to give it a name. It'll be called HWitchMac. Press Enter to continue. We're going to create a user. I'm going to give the full name. Enter to continue. Now we're going to give the username. And now the password. and re-enter the password. We are not going to encrypt our home directory. That username is not the root user, by the way. We'll explain that later. Is this time zone correct? America, Chicago, yes. The user that we just made is a limited user account, whereas we'll make the root user later. We're going to do guided, use entire disk and set up LVM. We're going to ensure that this is what we made when we did the VirtualBox thing when I was partitioning the drive, and press enter. Arrow key to yes and press enter. I'm going to tab to continue and press enter. Arrow key to yes and enter. Now at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I do not have an HTTP proxy server, so I'm going to continue and leave it blank. It's going to ask us if we want automatic updates. I'm going to choose no, because apparently that'll sometimes interfere with it being a server. So I'm going to press no. And we're going to arrow key down to LAMP server and press space to select it. Arrow key down to standard system utilities, it's already selected. Arrow key down to open the SSH server, select it with space. Press tab and click enter to continue. We can do the updates on our own later. Now we're going to make a MySQL root user password. That is not the same as our root user password. It's our MySQL root user password. We'll make the root user password later. The next thing is going to be the grub bootloader. We're just going to install it. And then after that, the installation should read as complete. We're going to press yes to install the grub bootloader to the master boot record. Now after this, it should be finished. And then it asks us to remove the boot disk. We were just using a file, or I was just using a file on my computer. But if you are installing this on a real computer using a flash drive or a DVD or CD, you would have to remove it now. You can press continue. So again, you don't need to do anything. If you have the file on your regular computer, and VirtualBox is smart enough to get rid of that option for your virtual machine. We don't press anything, and Ubuntu just loads on its own. The first thing we're going to see is a login screen. We're going to log in with our regular user, and then after that, we're going to make a sudo user account. So this is our regular user. The password text doesn't display as you type, but once you have it typed completely, you just press enter and it's all good. Now we're going to make the sudo, the root user's password. You can type in sudo passwd, and it got all messed up, so I'm just going to press Control C, and now sudo passwd root. We're going to type in the password for our regular user, the one that we just typed in to log in. Now we're going to type in the password that we want the root user to have. Now we are going to log in as that root user. So we're going to press SU and enter and type in the password we just made for the root user. And now you can see the root right there compared to the Alice Young right there. So we're logged in. Now we need to install our updates. So apt-get update and apt-get upgrade. This is going to take some time. We're almost at 18 minutes. I'm going to press yes to continue, or type Y to continue rather. Once this finishes, we're going to type in ifconfig --A. That will show all of the networks, like the network cards that Ubuntu has access to, I think. Then we're going to type in a similar command and compare those two responses. There will be one network thing that's missing. That one thing that's missing is the thing that we're looking for. All right, the update's just finished, so we're going to type in ifconfig -A. And we have an ENP0 S3, ENP0 S8, and an LO. Now we're going to type in ifconfig, and we have an ENP0 S3 and LO. So the one that is different was the ENP0 S8. We're going to just write that down somewhere else. And then we're going to type in nano/etc/network/interfaces. You gotta be really careful because we're the administrator right now, so we can definitely mess stuff up. But we're gonna arrow down to the end of this file where it says primary network interfaces, and we're going to add that thing that was missing, the ifconfig. So we're going to type auto enp 0s3, press enter, iface enp0s3 inet dhcp. I'm going to press Control O and enter to save it in the same file, and Control X to exit. Now we need to enable SSH access. Actually, we're going to do it in this video, and we'll probably do it in a later video just in case. So etc SSH SSHD _config. We are going to look for a word permit root login. Just arrow down to it, and I'm going to have my cursor right on the P and make a hash mark and comment that out. Then go to the end of that line that we just commented out, press enter, and we're going to write a new line. Permit login, yes. And then we're going to press Control O, enter, Control X. So we just edited that file. And now we're going to restart SSH. So service SSH restart. And now we're going to log off completely, exit, and exit again. And we're going to power off the machine. Now we're going to press start. And let Ubuntu run just like regular. Just about 5 minutes away from our 30-minute goal time. Should be just enough time. So we're going to log in as the root user. We're going to type in root, enter, and then the root user password. And now we're going to do that ifconfig-a thing again. We are going to look for enp0s8. I'm going to try it one more time. Sorry about that. It looks like I just messed up that nano file when we were adding in the thing that was missing from the ifconfig. So I just changed that, and now it should work. If you entered it fine, yours should be good to go. You didn't need to do any of what I just did right there. So we're going to log in as the root user once again. Now ifconfig -a. Now we have that thing that our favorite ENP0S8. We see we have a IP address 192.168.56.101. So we're going to open up a web browser and type that number in 192.168.56.101. And we have a web server on our virtual machine that communicates with our regular computer. Congratulations. So, what if we want to add pages to it? And let's see if we can do that in our 30-minute time span. I think we have about 2 more minutes. So, you're going to change the directory. And now list what we have. We're going to go into var. List what we have. We're going to go into www. List what we have, HTML, list what we have, index.html. So that's the file that just rendered this page on our regular computer. So let's make another one. So I'm going to type in nano and name a file. Just going to call it fun, HTML. I'm going to give it a paragraph element. And now Control O to write out, press enter, press Control X to exit. We should see this on our regular computer web browser. And there it is. Congratulations. We did it in about 29 minutes. I'll have future videos that explain the SSH and the FTP. But for now, this is really, really good. Congratulations on if it worked. If it did not, please let me know. And if you find out a solution to it, please let me know. If you didn't, I'll try to help out. I spent all yesterday working on this. I found it so frustrating that there was not a single comprehensive guide to doing this. If there is a guide, please send it my way. But I hope this video saves you some time. So thank you for watching.